No, it's...
This is not with Sam's thing. Is it with Sam's report? Appropriation of funds?
It was in your bin for...
We do not have it.
Oh, it's in your bins, right?
Yeah, hold on.
It was in the bin. They had it.
What's the tax collection report, Mr. Burns?
Is there schedule of refunds? No.
All right, so anyway.
Why don't you just talk us through the big numbers?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Everyone should have, everyone has a copy in there.
Well, what are we looking at?
We do have it.
Do you have it?
It's in your mail spot. Yeah.
It's in your what?
It's in your mail spot.
Got it over there?
Oh, this one? No, not that.
It's in the mail. Oh, it's
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, go ahead.
Anyway, this is just a summary of the tax receivables in total, which is as of June 30th, 2011, for $4,201,685. It's 2.60% of the total levies, which is a little over $161 million for the year.
Well, okay, but let's just go through the one by one. So we have
Yeah.
total liens outstanding of $1.456 million. Yeah.
Correct.
And we have the
The new in-rem that...
well, hold on. We have the four, Mr. Noto, the four in rem. These are the guys that Noto couldn't collect.
I don't have it in front of me, so I don't know what you're...
The 131,744. Those are the properties we took
Yeah,
over.
there's four properties that went, there was properties that went to auction. Three,
reneged.
they reneged. One is in court action. So they're town-owned property, and then those are the four properties, and that's the taxes due on those four properties.
Right, and then we have two properties from '07 that we still own.
Two properties that liens were filed in '07 that we in 2010 they went to in-rem. So there's a total of 6 properties.
So we own 6 properties now.
Correct.
No, which one is, yeah, Passarelli we own, what's Eugene Carino's? Yeah, we just got that one this year.
The other one we just got.
Yeah, okay.
Is there an
Shore
occupant?
Drive is
Still pending.
well, no, it's the guy reneged. That's not the court action. The court action was actually 313 Locust.
Do we have? Where are we looking at? Sorry, I apologize.
It looks like a
Page
2.
Page 2 of the in-rem report.
So the first name is first address is 245 Madison.
Well, it just says Madison online.
That piece of land.
Oh, Madison. Okay.
The guy changed his mind, he said couldn't do anything with it.
All right, and then we have Locust Avenue.
313 Locust I'm working on with, that's the church, partially owned by the church that I'm doing.
title?
Right, that's quiet title.
Which church is that?
I don't remember
North
the name.
Baptist.
North Baptist
The
thing.
caretaker of the North Baptist.
Right.
Scott.
Warren.
Fox Island Drive, he reneged, so that we can re-auction. Shore Drive, actually there is a potential buyer. 738 Halstead we just took. Rock Ridge Drive we just took in, and then there's another one I just got last week, Sally Williams, Franklin, I'm around again.
Originally had to declare bankruptcy, but now just...
She never did, by the way.
She never did,
No,
so...
told us she was and didn't. Yeah.
Never.
So wait, told us she was declaring bankruptcy, or she?
Well, yeah, this was an 09 in-rem that she had an attorney who said, I forget how he had said they were filing for bankruptcy, and then they didn't, and Nick wasn't getting the trustee payments that he's supposed to be getting. So then I went back and checked, and she hadn't filed, and so I made a motion based on the original 09 to have title transferred to the town. The judge just last Monday granted my motion. So
There's a woman living in the
I
property?
believe she is living there. Yeah.
She's listed in the 27.
Yeah.
I added it to the...
Yeah. So we'll have title in a matter of weeks. And then we'll...
But I don't understand. Okay. Well, can we, okay. I want to report.
You do. I mean, this is not like...
I understand.
Right.
Greg, I'd like to get a report on the status of our properties. I mean, actually, we didn't even get it. The first property that the guy reneged on, Madison, is that a building or is it just a lot?
Vacant lot.
25 by 199 lot.
So does that mean you can't do anything with it?
Put it up for auction again.
Okay. But I mean, I don't know what 25,199 means. Is that
It's a
Well,
strip.
it's not buildable.
not buildable? That's right.
25 feet wide, it's not buildable.
All right.
It's useful only to the adjacent property owners, that's a general rule.
Got it. So 313 Locust Avenue, is that the same situation?
No,
No, that's the house that we're
Quiet
doing
title.
the search on.
We're the what?
We're doing the search for heirs.
That's the air search I'm doing, 313 Locust. I have to, because it was partially owned by an estate, so I have to get the court to permit me to serve by publication so I can get the quiet title.
And how long will that take?
It's going to take a few months.
Okay. And Fox Island Drive, is that another lot?
That's
small,
right.
a small piece on going.
All right.
It's essentially a non-buildable lot.
Okay. And then Shore Drive?
Strip of land between two properties.
All right. And Halsted?
Most of it just came on time.
Yeah, we just got title 2 months ago.
Is somebody living there?
I don't know. I don't think so.
That's the one in Mamaroneck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have we ever been in touch with any owners there?
Yeah, no answer, no.
No, 6.6
No,
is the warehouse.
No,
No, that's a different,
That's a different one.
That's all.
that's cleaned up.
So 738 Halsted is a building.
It's a house. I think it's a two-family house. I don't think anyone's living there.
No, and what's the value? Assessed more or less?
It's a little over 400,000.
All right, $400,000.
That's a real house.
So, and we can't find anybody that owns it?
No, they're gone. That's why they lost it in rem. They disappeared. They left. I mean, they must have known they owed the taxes, and they just walked away.
And they've never been in contact with the town at all? We've never been in touch with them?
We have reached out to them. They've never responded to us. We've sent them letters, we've phone calls, and we never
I mean, again, the taxes owed are like, what, $50,000?
probably
I
maybe.
mean, it has to be the stupidest economic decision in the history. In other words, I'm just trying to
I
figure
don't disagree with you, but,
I have a vivid memory of the poor kid that came in last year.
Yeah, no.
And bought his apartment twice.
No, we do.
And so I just want to make clear to the public, we're not trying to take these. We don't want these properties. But it's sort of like these people have never ever responded. We can't find them.
To be candid with you, I think what happens is they either try to sell and can't, and they don't have any income in which to get a loan, and they're in literally between a rock and a hard place. They have no resources with which to pay the taxes, and they just can't sell it over there. And I agree with you. Someone would buy it for something, but I don't know. I can't speak for them.
All right. Okay.
Mortgage on it, either, right?
And what's the story on Rock Ridge Drive? Same thing?
Where's
Or
Ron?
is it a house?
No.
It's a lot.
Ridge Drive is a landlocked parcel.
Okay, yeah, that's a backyard. That's a parcel that this woman has.
Is it buildable or not?
No, it's not buildable.
Okay, so
She had
then...
an ongoing dispute with Mitch about the assessment, and
Nah,
she
it's
just
fine.
didn't fight.
And who's Sally Williams?
You remember her? Yeah.
Okay, so Sally Williams, what's the address for Sally Williams?
1310 Franklin Avenue.
And where's that?
1310 Franklin is in Mamaroneck.
Right.
I don't know if it's a single family or two family, but I believe someone is living there.
And you say we're just taking
I just got the judgment on Monday.
so we own it now as of Monday.
Well, I haven't done the deed yet, but I have a judge's order that says I
Says we
I
own
can
it.
prepare a deed from Nick to you, which I'm going to do.
All right, and so and that's a house as well.
That's a house,
What's
yeah.
the approximate assessed value? Do we know?
I don't know.
Is it 200, 300, 400?
I'm sure. Yeah,
Okay. All right. Perfect.
but we may have to do an eviction on that to get her out.
Okay.
What we can do is on the 27 properties, we can get the assessed value on all.
Hold on. So I want to go, David. I apologize, Mr. Burns. I want to go. So I want to go one by one. So those are the 6 properties that we're still owed $170,000, $180,000 on.
Correct.
And then we have a new 27 that have just become in-remable. When did they become? August 1st?
Yeah, actually, I see. It is 26, because you included Sally Williams, who's not should be looking at it.
So you have, 27 new properties, in-rem
Well, it's 26
eligible.
new, because
26 new. And do we have that? That's the list that we saw earlier?
that's correct. And that's the list you just authorized me to do the interim.
All right. And the value of those properties, again, look, people at home, they owe 235, and we're valuing the properties at 1.1 million, correct?
No, no.
Well, they actually owe 1,116,000.
They owe 1.1 million.
Because remember, it's up to today what they owe, not
They owe 1.1.
In total.
1,116,000 total.
Yeah.
They owe it.
They owe it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And what's the
That's
value
with
of the
penalties and
homes?
interest, yeah.
What's the value of the homes?
I don't know.
All right, can we get the value of the properties, please?
Yeah.
Add it to this list. Oh, so they owe 1.1 million. Why do I have a number 233?
Because that's the '08 number, and that's what qualifies them for in-rem. These go back to '08. So that's what they owed in
So there's
'08.
$1.1 million in taxes.
Correct.
Oh, wow.
Current.
Right.
So if we are as successful as we normally are, we're going to pull in $1 million.
Correct. Yes.
Now, how do we account for these now? As an outstanding long-term receivable?
Yeah, it's in the receivables. It's, some are current, some are, that's just the 235 is just a lien piece, but there's also current receivables.
Well, but if I look at our fund balance, right?
Yep, three, right.
How is this 1.1 incorporated into our fund balance?
Well, there's a reserve for long-term receivables.
Right, which is about $1.1 million, I remember.
Right, because it doesn't, includes collections that come in against the total receivables that are outstanding. So it's not a, $1 for dollar.
Well, can we get a break? I'd like to get a breakdown for next meeting, if we could, Mr. Burns, of the long-term receivables outstanding.
Okay.
And how this sort of fits into that. Because, are we going to have a cash windfall this year?
Well, we collect that 1.1 million. That's yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
In addition to the
Because our
No
fund-
pressure on me here, but yeah.
Hey, you got the easiest job in the world. Let me tell you. You should be writing a book. But,
Trust me, I am. I'm
but-
collaborating with Mitch. All the excuses we hear and Nick about all this.
but the thing is,
if you look at the receivables have gone down from year to year, from June to June, and obviously if we collect the other, 1.1 million, then it'll go down even further, so.
so there's 1.1 that 1.1 is out of that 1.45.
No, it's out of the 4.2.
Ah, okay.
Look at it that way.
Okay, and then the prior year receivables, this is 2.2. That's what was incurred when?
That's
I'm just moving down your list
Yeah,
here.
that's just the subtotal of all prior years' receivables, including the liens. So the villages are made whole at 525 that we have to pay the villages as in June for the prior year. Rybrook in the village of Portchester, and that's the prior year county and town.
So we've taken our receivables down from 4.6 million to 4.2 million overall.
Yes, right.
All right, and then what's your next line down below the 279? You have a number 279020 and 3479-584.
Oh, okay, that's just what the town has made whole as of June 30th. Of the 4.2, the town is, has paid
We
out.
paid those out, so we're out of pocket for those.
We're at it, so that's all of the 4.2, that's all of the town's money at this point. So every dollar that comes in goes, to the town.
that.
Right.
Right, but I'm sorry, I don't understand. We're owed the 4.2.
We owe 4.2, but we haven't made whole on the villages yet. We'll be doing that this month. And we haven't made whole on the county and town. We'll be doing,
So the difference between 4.2 and 2.7 is what we haven't yet made whole.
right.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Plus some accrued interest.
Okay, beautiful. Great. Well, thank you, Mr. Burns. It's very helpful. Thank you, Mr. Mack. That's very helpful. Any?
Cleaning up house, that's what we're doing. We send notices out to everybody because, as you see, the money climbs very rapidly.
Well, exactly.
Anyone that 2010 hasn't paid, we will now file a lien on them, or a letter, we'll send a letter, not a lien, I'm sorry, that it's a year old. And Mr. Noto will sign in that he has the right, the board has a right to put a personal lien if they don't look into these tax payments. So it doesn't now only affect the property, it affects their borrowing money.
Is that right?
Yeah. Right.
We send a letter every year, yeah.
Yeah, it's coming out, we'll send it,
Yeah.
we'll just give them a chance to get cleaned up. We did send a whole pile of notices out 2 weeks ago. But after that, it can be a personal lien. It can affect a credit card, buy a car, the interest rate. So it gets serious. Isn't it?
Yeah. No, it makes no sense. If you can pay it, you should pay it. This is the most expensive way to
We are a
finance.
little high here because, as I said to you last week, most of these are the owners are not, they're not owner occupied, they're rentals
Which most of what?
of those 27.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so it's, people have to take a serious look at what's going on there.
Right.
Because if the town does proceed and something happens, these are going to either be dispossessed or we become renting agents, you know?
We don't want that.
Yeah, we hope, hopefully we're paid the money's owed, yeah.
We get cleaned up a little bit anyway, so hopefully, okay.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Mackey. Thank you, Mr. Burns. Other reports, Mr. Noto.
No, I didn't, you should have in your packet the memorandum I submitted to the Board of Assessment Review for Rye City on the Seaside Johnny's appeal with the withdrawal of our exemption by the city assessor. That's for your information only. That's it for me.
Great. Mr. Markowitz. No.
Thank you.
Even if you wanted to speak to him, he said
Mr. Markowitz, no, I need you up there. Sorry, Mr. Markowitz. Sorry.
no. That was good. You should have ran at that point.
Are you gonna? You can't for your Mr. I didn't think you were going to be here for your report, Mr. Trent. Yeah, but Mr. Markowitz, no, seriously, we had a very comprehensive reval meeting here some weeks ago.
27.
Thank you, 27th. Thank you, Town Clerk Vespia. And one of the things I committed is that we were going to continue to examine the integrity of our data.
Yes.
And move forward. Could you give me and the board a report on where you've gotten to with that?
Okay, since that meeting, both Vision Appraisal and the Town of Rye have examined a group of properties located in Rybrook and Mamaroneck in order to, I guess, ascertain the quality of the data between the Vision database and the RPS system. Okay. We looked at the street level images, the aerial images, we looked at the historic RPS data. The conclusion basically was that the data changes indicated by the review were relatively minor. Many of them could not be visible from the street or from the photographs, only by looking at the inventory. It's our intent to continue that to the extent time permits. There are certain kinds of issues that we're going to try and address in the coming year. I would just make this point as part of the town's continued effort. The town has asked every time there is a recorded sale for an inspection of that property in order to update data. We review MLS data as it becomes available. We obviously review building permits. And we review properties where people specifically complain to us about inventory. So we've been constantly doing that. We will continue to do that.
Now, when you did the data check when we spoke the other day, how many properties did you check in Rybrook approximately? 150? 140?
Approximately 150.
All right, and you found, so I understand that there's only a couple of discrepancies on 5 to 6 buildings, and those were on the porches?
There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 properties where there were what I'll describe as deck and or patio issues.
Right, and other than that?
Other than that, there was nothing in Rybrook.
Right, and so just so to begin to give people comfort, the deck or patio issue, obviously that doesn't have any real material impact on the value of your home. And so out of 148 properties checked, there was 5 or 6 houses that had issues with the deck and patio. What was your experience in Mamaroneck?
In Mamaroneck, our experience was out of 67 properties, there were approximately 7 porch patio deck issues, 2 garages that one was miscategorized and one, for whatever reason, was not there, and that was the extent of it.
Okay, well, I want to continue with these random checks across the data. We're not going to rest until our inventory is the pride of New York State. Isn't that correct?
Absolutely. Our goal is to get it 100% correct.
And obviously we're going to need help from the people at home to achieve that. So if we get it wrong, we need you to tell us. So we're fully committed to getting this roll. How's the roll the most accurate in New York State? How are you coming with the board assessment reviews?
The Board of Assessment Review meets continuously. They're making good progress.
Wonderful.
They will complete their activities on or before September 15th, and everyone and anyone who filed a complaint will get a written response from the Board of Assessment Review on or about September 15th.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mr. Markowitz.
Thank you.
Mr. Arcaro, how's our Model American community coming? Are we considered across New York State the Model American community yet or not?
September 15th, I think that was the date. The Model American community. No, just wanted to update the board. We're picking up some nice steam in meeting with the community organizations and the houses of worship, basically asking them, in their mission, carrying out their work in the community, are there some things that we could help from the town point of view, and not just the money help, but kind of the synergy of seniors maybe working with Head Start organizations, those kinds of synergies. And
Well, that was the example I really liked. You're meeting with all the different groups. You met with the people from Head Start.
Head Start, right?
And I understand that people from Head Start are looking for seniors
Yes.
to try and contribute and help out. I mean, that's sort of, I know this is not traditionally a Republican thing to do, but ultimately, I think we already have a Model American community, and what the effort here is to try to bring together all our different houses of worship, all of our different community outreach organizations into a coherent whole, and have them help us address the needs of the community such that we're doing it in synergistic fashion. And for me, the light at the end of the tunnel was the Head Start. Here you have Head Start. You have, a lot of seniors in our community looking to contribute, looking for things to do. Why not get involved with Head Start? And that, hopefully, is the kind of thing and the kind of coordination, the kinds of synergies we're going to be able to generate.
And I think we'll continue on that, and then I think one of the things we spoke about also was preparing reports showing this information and trying to build on it. And I think it's very exciting. Again, I guess as we've done, building on the 350th anniversary, and then moving ahead with this as our next legacy for the community. So I would say probably by the end of the year we should have a pretty good handle on almost the 120 between the community organizations and the houses of worship.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Arcaro. Mr. Terenzi, did you want to, I saw some numbers from you. Did you want to talk those numbers at all?
Copy in front of you, you gotta have.
I'm trying to see where I lost my, oh, here we go. Yes. Let's talk about revenues first.
Okay. We have 6 months in the completed. I don't really see any major, we have one number in there.
That's our second page, or page 3.
Yeah, page 3. We have a number that's sitting there which is called insurance recovery, $50,000. There's no budget for it. It was a recovery on the damage from the basement. I think we spent $69,000, Bishop, something along those lines. So I think we ended up at about $15,000 in the negative on that situation.
Well, some of that negative amount was covered with the grant that we received for the reclamation of the damaged records. So, if anything, we might be $3,000-4,000 in the hole.
Okay. The interest and penalties are tracking pretty nicely. It's not a 50% of the budget because at the end of the year we make a big adjustment, as Mr. Burns will verify that. Tax collection fees, we haven't received any yet. I don't think we're going to make budget because I think there was one community that reduced their levies.
What were we thinking when we put $182,000 in the
No, that's 0.5% of
okay.
the levies
Okay.
of the two municipalities.
So why do you say we won't make it this year?
Because one of the municipalities had the foresight to reduce their
You're not giving a plug for the Village Board of Purchase, are
I
you?
said one of the municipalities that we do collect the taxes for.
All right.
It looks like we're not tracking pretty well with Crawford. That may be a timing difference. There may be a deposit in transit there, but we're not really at 50% of our budget on Crawford Park fees, interest and revenue, interest earnings, we're not going to hit budget on that. We're not going to hit 75,000.
Why are they so low?
Well, part of it is I haven't probably booked the interest that we're earning from Rye-Town Park yet, which is probably another 10,000. So, and there's probably a couple of small accounts that we haven't really booked the interest. So, I'd say with a strict accrual number, we'd probably be at about 15 or 18,000. That we're 50% of the way there, and we budgeted 75. So,
Right.
you don't have to be, figure that one out. So we're going to be light on that number. Everything else seems to be pretty good. Mortgage taxes are ahead of schedule. So, I mean, our $2.8 million overall revenue numbers, we should hit that without a problem. Hopefully we'll hit $3 million with some mortgage tax blips.
So the mortgage tax at 372 is for the first 6 months of this year?
Correct.
Yeah, it actually covers the last 3 months of last year and the first 3 months of this year.
Compared to last year's number, we're about, 18,000 ahead of last year. 600,000 is definitely a number we're going to hit. Bishop, you agree?
I would agree, yeah.
And what's our insurance recovery of $50,000?
That was the money, the claim we put in for the flood damage in the beginning of the year.
An exemption terminated? What's
Well,
that?
that's a tricky number, and basically what happens when a property gets sold and it has an existing exemption on it, and the exemption gets lifted, Mr. Markowitz could probably bear me out on this. The exemption, let's assume you had a veteran's exemption, and the property gets sold to a non-veteran, the exemption comes off, and that becomes a little windfall for the town. So that's basically, and Dave books that from his activity at the downstairs in Nick's office.
All right.
And that's where he gets that information from.
Now, in terms of our expenditures this year, we're about $200,000 ahead of, worse than last year.
That did jump off the page a little bit to me. I was trying to find out where we were going wrong a little bit here. Now, obviously, you got the $69,000 that we spent downstairs, so if you pull that number out...
Where's that?
Well, it's in the operations of buildings, Joe.
Okay.
You pull that number out,
Assessment. It's gone skyrocketed. What's going on there? That's your new people, Mitch? Is that what your new people?
It was a big number for vision.
No, that's not. That's a new person. It's not.
No.
Vision, is Vision in the assessment as well?
You can't have any more people in the assessment. Well, you would have to get another office over there. You'd have to get an extension to the building.
So we're.
What else we got there?
Actually, we have. Well, yeah. So that's Vision appraisal basically, and Mitch's new person, right?
That's the big number. We got the biggest. We got a big appraisal number because of Arrowwood, I would assume.
Operation of buildings, and that's your 69,000. Okay, yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah, I just paid a big bill for our Arrowwood between Toulouse and between whoever the appraiser is. I probably just paid another 30,000 10 minutes ago. So it's not reflected in these numbers either.
How come we're so much lower on parks?
I don't know. We just either there's some bills that are haven't been run through the system, or we just haven't had the kind of issues we've had in the past.
And we should double check that number, please. And then the employee benefits, is that what we should anticipate for this year? Or we already have, haven't we?
No. There's an entry that there's probably an adjustment that would have to be made there. I probably haven't picked up some of the reimbursements from Rye Brook yet, so that number's probably a little heavy. The medical and dental, that's 232. I'd say we're probably tracking at about 210, 215. So we're probably under the.
Well, we budget 751. Are we going to come under that?
Well, the retirement number. Did we get the retirement number? Is that was a number that we really had from New York State, or we didn't get that number yet?
That was a live forecast, if you will.
Right.
I mean, that was a forecast we received from New York State.
I did catch a blurb in one of the municipal bulletins. The state had a 15% return this year on their pension fund. So hopefully that'll
be. They did?
Yep.
What's his name? What's he doing?
Well, I mean, when you're 75 feet below sea level and you get to sea level, it was 14% they had a 14% return this year.
Wow.
So that should hopefully be reflected somewhere in the system. It may not be this year, but it'll probably be next year.
The transfer to debt service, why is that up so much?
I think last year's number was light. The 58,000 probably didn't reflect. There was a payment that was missed last year, and it should have been recorded. In other words, the bank actually did not make the payment. and was brought up to their attention. So that 58,000 last year should have been somewhere around 130,000.
We're still on track for 234, or are we going to be
Well,
above that?
that's a hard number, Joe. That's right off the schedule that we have.
So
That's a hard number.
All right.
That's right off the
So
schedule.
we're tracking for, $3.4 million in expenditures.
Yeah, was that? I think
Are we going to, Mr. Nowotnik, what are you taking off the floodgates? What usually, you becoming easy going in your old age, or what's happening? There's a supervisor under mine.
There's, the 2% salary increase that was issued, the hiring of the additional staff person, certainly the extra costs of the flood mitigation that we had. There were just a few items.
So let me understand. So what's your best guess of where we're coming in?
I mean, it's kind of early. I mean,
I know.
I still look at somewhere in the $3.3 million range.
expenditures.
And I think that's, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Well,
So-
the problem.
$3.4 million on the outside of it.
Well, here's two big numbers you don't have in there, Joe. You don't have the retirement number in there, which could be 120, 130, and we're going to have a $100,000 number from Right Town Park. That could skew these numbers to 3.4 easily.
So we have the Ride Town Park minus 100, and what was the other one?
The retirement number's not in there yet.
What retirement number?
The bill that we get at the end of the year. We've budgeted 147.
Is it in here? Where's I see that one?
Well, it's budgeted, but it's not. We haven't paid
We
it
don't pay that
until the end of the year. So,
But where's that coming into the budget? The 751 employee benefits?
yeah, yes. On page 13, you'll see the breakdown of 751.
All right. So, okay. So if we're 2.9 in revenue, not even. So 2.8 in revenue, 3.4. We're going to have a $600,000 use of our fund balance.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned. I want to drill down a little bit more on the July numbers. I really put these numbers together, put all 6 months together at one shot. Now that I got them in the machine or in the computer, we'll be able to, when July comes across, I'll start analyzing the general ledger, see if there's any mispostings, and by July we'll have a better, because I'm a little concerned myself.
Well, we should see what we should do with those properties, right? I mean, we have 2 or 3 houses.
We can certainly auction off a
like
couple.
3. We're coming up on 3 now.
Yeah, I mean, we should.
Nice ones.
Yeah, I'm saying that's $1 million in houses we're looking at right now.
Paul's collection as well.
Auction at $600,000.
Well, I don't know why we're auctioning. We've only got 3. But anyway, okay. Thank you, Mr. Terenzi. Anything else from the board? Thank you. So, Councilman Gelfarb, thank you, Mr. Terenzi.
To paraphrase Town Assessor Markowitz, no.
Councilman Mendocino? We're on executive session, yeah.
I wanted to know if I could get a copy of the new Crawford Park policy. I'm just a little confused with the whole police situation. They have to hire a policeman now for every party, whether or not there's alcohol.
No.
Only if there's alcohol. Gotcha.
And I'll be glad to I'll send it to you by email.
Okay, thank you.
Actually, okay, perfect. And then Councilman Nuris.
No comment.
Deputy Supervisor Villanova.
I just want to thank the board for approving the outsourcing for the park. I think that Rye Town Park takes our lead. The Rye Town Park Commission takes our lead. This will be a great step in the direction of the future of management of the parks, and I'm really proud of the everything that we're doing. It's all been with some great thought, and really with the benefit of the taxpayers in mind. It was really some sound decisions, and the town of Rye, obviously, we don't have a police or fire, but I just want to always thank the police department and the fire department for everything that they're doing for everybody in the town of Rye, and I always want to wish a good friend of ours, Tom Murphy, recently retired from the Portchester Fire Department, wish Tommy well and his family. Hope you enjoy a good retirement.
Thank you, Deputy Supervisor Villanova. Basically, I want to thank the board for all the hard work. I want to thank the staff for all the hard work. We've stayed here a little bit later than usual tonight. But, I agree with Deputy Supervisor Villanova. I think that the town's working together nicely. We're making some real good progress on a number of different fronts. I know we certainly have the most congenial town clerk and receiver of taxes in any
I thought you were
town.
going to say accountant when you cut.
No. Well, I don't think anybody ever accused us. I think everybody accused us of having the most congenial.
Right, the third floor is a little...
Yeah, thank God they don't come up to the third. But thank you for the hard work, Dom. Can I get a motion? We have to go into executive session, a couple personal matters.
Personnel history on a particular employee.
And so, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Anything else?
Aye.
Aye, 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 aye.